Hi, I'm Cicely and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing a what's in my bag and review of the Senreve Maestra bag. I am going to preface this video just by saying that I love it and I have no regrets about buying it. So what this is going to entail are some of the benefits and also some of the drawbacks, as well as just what fits in it. This is going to be in 3-ish parts. The first 2 parts are 2 different what's in my bags. I use this bag for work basically every day. I've had this bag for about a month and a half now, and I have taken it to travel personally as well as for work. So I've used it both ways, and then also I use it throughout the week to go to work, but also sometimes I will just kind of like empty it out and just put in personal things for the weekend. So I'm gonna kind of share 2 different ones of what that looks like for me. And then I'm gonna do a pretty quick review. I already said I loved it. I don't really have that much I don't like about it, but I do want to kind of share the highlights as well as some of the things that are a little bit annoying. With that, I'm going to jump right into it. Okay, so I changed the angle a little bit to fight a glare and so that you could see, you know, things as I pulled them out of the top of the bag. But here we go. So the first one is going to be what's in my bag for work. So this bag is actually pretty heavy right now, and that is not because of the leather. The leather is really light, but I have it stuffed to the top. So this is kind of like one of those days where I need almost all the things that I would need for going into work, instead of, you know, a light day where I go out for lunch, wear the perfect pair of shoes, and you'll see. Okay, so at the very top I have a pair of glasses, and you know, I don't actually keep glasses at my desk, so I try to keep a pair in my car and in my bag. And these are regular glasses, but these could be sunglasses, and these are fitting right at the top. And then I also have 2 containers, and this is coming from right from inside the bag. You can see a little bit. Yeah, so I got these 2 containers, and this is pretty indicative for what I might bring for lunch, or maybe even like a small breakfast or snack and lunch. And these fit so perfectly into the bag for if I don't want to bring a lunchbox. And then you can see things are emptying out a little bit. There's still plenty left. And then all of this so far has been in the main compartment. I haven't delved into pockets or anything like that. But the next thing I'll have is a notebook of some kind. It might be more of just like a college rule notebook. This is more of a decorative notebook, but it's about the size of what I carry to work every day in case I have meetings and stuff like that. Okay, and then still in the main compartment, I've got a pair of extra flats, and I will kind of shove these in if I'm wearing heels or a shoe that's just kind of uncomfortable, or if it's raining, I may wear rain boots and have like a work appropriate shoe that doesn't take up a lot of room. I don't actually keep shoes at my desk right now, so these are the shoes that I kind of throw in my bag, and I do that once or twice a week. And then again, I'll show you. Things are emptying out pretty well now. But still in the main compartment, I have an umbrella. I keep this at the bottom of my bag basically all of the time. Occasionally for casual things, I will not bring it, but if I'm going to work or on a work trip, I've got this at the bottom of my bag. Okay, so that was the end of everything that was in the main pocket. Next, we will kind of go into one of the side pockets. If you want to kind of see an idea of what all the pockets are for this bag, I would suggest going to my unboxing video. I go through all of that, and I will leave that kind of linked on the screen now. But I'm not going to show you all the pockets right now. I've done that. I'm really just kind of showing you what's possible to fit in the bag. And then here I've got this tiny little pouch, and I have things like extra hair ties, glasses wipes, lip balm, feminine hygiene products. So yeah, that's kind of what I keep in this bag, and it can move around to different bags, but I usually kind of keep it in this work bag. And then I also, in that main side pocket, I also keep my keys. And this very battered Kate Spade card holder. It's stuffed, but yeah, this moves around from bag to bag, and I always keep it inside my bag, or a pocket maybe, but it does fit in the side pocket with everything else that I have in this bag. And occasionally, if I want it to be more easily reachable, I might stick it in this back pocket, and it just goes, and I can access it easily. Okay, so if I'm going to work, I have some pens in the tiny side pen pocket. I won't try to pull out, but they're pretty simple. I guess I can just like pull this out, stick it back in. And then one thing I really like, so you can see, there are two pockets right there on either side of this pen pocket in front of the laptop pouch. So that's really great for me because I have, if I'm going to work, I have my personal phone, and then I also have a work phone. So having two similarly sized pouches that fit a pretty decent size iPhone is great, and I'm sure that's one of the things that the women who design these bags for women who work in mind thought about. A lot of people have jobs that require them to have two phones, one personal, one for work. So that's really helpful for me. And then finally, in its own laptop pouch, I will keep a laptop. This is actually my personal laptop, but my work laptop does fit in that pouch pretty well. But yeah, it fits with everything else, and it's out of the way, and it's easily accessible in that pocket. Okay, next up we have just what I carry in a bag on a weekend, or if I'm on vacation or something and I'm using this as kind of my primary bag. And it is again stuffed full, and I've again puzzled everything in because I will overpack my personal bag just to make sure that I have everything that I could need. So here we go. So this. Okay, so right thing first off, as you can see, I have everything very tightly in. First thing you can kind of see is the bottom of this water bottle, and I like to keep water with me, a bottle that I can kind of put in any which way and I'm not worried about leaking, especially with all of the suede. So pull out as well. Fits really well because it tapers here. If I have more at the bottom, it's pretty easy to just kind of even put upside down because I have more room at the top. And then next I have a makeup bag. It's not like full makeup, but it just kind of things to touch things up throughout the day. And especially if I'm traveling or something and I want certain things accessible because I don't want to wear makeup on a plane, this is really good. It fits in the bag pretty easily. Glasses or sunglasses again. These kind of just fit right on top or kind of slide into little spaces because even though it is pretty sizable compared to everything else that I have in here right now, it's not that big. And we're still in the main compartment, so you can see I have got another notebook. It's smaller than what I would take to work, but it just kind of like if I need something and need to write it down, or I'm working on something, I like to have something to write on with me most of the time. And then I also have a book. I read a lot on my Kindle app on my phone, but I love having a book with me if I'm going to the doctor's or if I'm just gonna be waiting for like my car to be serviced. I like to have an actual solid book with me. And then that's especially true if I'm traveling. This is the book I'm trying to read right now. I loved The Night Circus, and so I'm really excited to get into this. And then the final thing that I have in this compartment is my camera. And so this is pretty tucked away in here. And as you can see, this is a pretty sizable camera. I could even easily fit a small camera like the one I'm using to film this right now. I like being able to have an actual camera with me in my bag, especially like I said, if I was traveling or going on vacation or something, and just kind of document my trip. So I'm happy that this bag fits a pretty sizable camera. Not a huge lens, but it works. That was the last thing in the main compartment. In the laptop compartment, I have my iPad, and it fits there with so much extra room. And yeah, so this fits. It's good for travel on the go, and it fits really well in here. I could even probably replace it with my actual laptop. There was that much space left, at least for that pocket. And then I have the same pens and pencils that I usually have. I keep them in that pencil spot and just don't replace them unless they run out of ink. And then I also have my personal phone. I don't have my work phone in this case, but yeah, keep my phone in there. And then finally in the main side pocket, I've got, because it zips up, I have a whole bunch of things in there. I have my keys, this pouch that I mentioned before, my key card, and then, like I said before, feminine products, maybe extras if I'm traveling, and then I have a hand thing for lotion. I could also include hand sanitizer really easily. There's plenty of space left even with all the things I just pulled out. Okay, so that was all for what's in my bag. And as you can see, you can fit a whole bunch in this bag, whether it's for work and you need lots of notebooks and pens and supplies, or to bring your lunch, it works really well. Or if you're traveling and you want to have room for touching up your makeup, I probably could switch that out for snacks, water. If I was using a smaller camera or just my phone, I could easily, like I said, put in snacks and that would take up that same amount of space. It's really good for travel because it works as a backpack, but it has that flap and the kind of zipper. It's great for hands-free. So now I'm gonna move into a very quick review. I just had some things I want to touch on that I've been noting. Been using this bag for about a month and a half. Like I mentioned, I take it to work. It's my work bag now, and I use that every day. And then I've also used it for weekend travel, for personal travel, for work travel during the week, and I mostly have only good thoughts about this bag. I love it. It gets complimented most of the time that I'm traveling with it because somebody sees it and they say, oh, that's so cool that that's, you know, such a nice looking backpack. And then I show them all the ways that the straps work and they love it even more. But yeah, so I'm gonna kind of touch on some of the pet peeves I have with it. None of them make me not want this bag, but they're just kind of things to note, and maybe they could bother you more than they bother me, so it's nice to be aware. Okay, the first thing is that this is a black bag. I can't really speak for a light bag, but it does pick up marks, which is surprising, but it's really kind of things like if you rub against a car with salt on it, because we're kind of approaching winter weather, it might pick that up. But I will say they wiped off really easily. There was no real transfer, but like it does show marks even as a black bag. They might be more prominent or more permanent if you have a lighter color version of this bag. I got the pebbled leather and I really don't regret it. It looks so good, and it's also been easy to maintain so far. I will also like to note that the snaps for the strap, not the front snap, but the snaps on the strap for adjusting the length, those were a beast to use. I think that they may work their way off, you know, being that difficult as time goes, but at the same time, I'm also grateful that I'm not worried about these things like unsnapping all of the time. So it was kind of worth having to maneuver it, and once I kind of got the hang of it, it got a little bit less difficult, but it was hard going at first. One thing that I did worry about with this bag was that because the straps are so thin that it would be uncomfortable to wear on my back, but surprisingly they're actually really comfortable. That being said, because they are thin, I do think that they flip a little bit easier, which can kind of line up to like the side ridge being, instead of the flat part, the other part being on your shoulder. But you can flip them back and it's pretty comfortable immediately. It's just something that I've noticed happens. It doesn't happen often, and usually like if you settle it right the first time, it works. So one thing that you will not have seen in my what's in my bag portions of this is the cord with the clasps on the end, and that's because I don't use it. I carry this bag as a backpack most of the time, and if I'm not, I usually just kind of put my keys in the side zip compartment. As a backpack, it's really difficult to reach in. You would have to take it all the way off so you actually have a moment to search, but I think it could be really useful if you're carrying this bag by the handle or as a side handle or as a side strap bag, and just have your keys on that and like pull it out. But for me, it's not something that I use. And then kind of one thing that I've also noticed is that to have it, at least for my body, the backpack strap, or the straps, it's one strap that turns into shoe straps, to have it long enough, it makes it a little bit long to wear as a side strap, and I could still extend it a little bit more and probably give myself more room as a backpack and wear it crossbody. It works crossbody just fine, but I kind of am in between, but I've decided to kind of go with where I'm at right now because I wear it as a backpack a lot more than I wear it as any other bag. Really, overall, I love this bag. I actually highly recommend it, especially for work. And I love how much you can carry. I love how structured it still is. And you know, I've had a lot of tote style bags that I've just kind of thrown everything in. I'm always losing stuff. The pocket system actually makes me more likely to use pockets than I am for a lot of other bags I've had. So that's really good for work and keeping organized. I like how durable this bag has been for taking into work every day. And it's been so good for travel for work, especially if I'm flying, and having just kind of one carry-on with me going into the airport and not checking anything. It's nice to be able to, like, as I'm going down the aisle of the plane, just have it on my backpack, and I'm not worried about some other type of tote bag or something that I'm carrying on my shoulder, kind of swinging and hitting people in the face as I walk down the aisle. It's nice to just have it on my back, and I'm not worried about that as I roll my other bag in front of me. So that's been really good, and something that I didn't really think about. I thought about the hands-free capability of the backpack, and as well as the even distribution of weight, which I do really love, but those are just like the nice little perks of it being tucked in close to your body and not, you know, hitting people. And then one thing, since I wear it as a backpack, that I think about a lot and really like is that it has that double closure. So somebody would have to unsnap the backpack and then pull the strap through and then unzip it, which most of the time you kind of tuck in the ends of the zipper and they're snapped, and the actual pull for the zipper is tucked in as well. And so that just means it's kind of triply difficult for somebody to actually open your backpack, so you're less worried about people, you know, stealing things out the back if you want to wear it as a backpack if you're traveling as well. And yeah, I really would consider getting one just for casual things. It's in a smaller size. I actually think this is a really good size. As far as backpack, it's not super big. It's not a mini backpack. I would say it's a little bit bigger than a lot of like the luxury backpacks that are on the market, but it's actually usable for all day, the things that you would want to take with you. Thank you so much for watching. If you like videos like this, I make content about career, life, and style a couple times a month. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button and like, comment, and I will see you next time.